Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We figured it'd be fun to do like a little sit down video since there's a lot of new people here. So let's introduce ourselves. Who are you?
I'm Dad. I'm Dave.
AKA Dad.
Dad.
And I am Mom, AKA Janie. And let's just...
I'm Ava.
Yeah.
Yes, you're Ava.
So let's just share a little how we came together, like how we met, because that's what the condensed version. Because that's always a common asked question.
The condensed.
Condensed.
Okay.
Boring.
I got divorced. She had a son. I had two boys from another marriage. We met, fell in love, got engaged, got married, had
Go off and wait.
this nightmare. I'm just kidding. I love her.
Go.
She is.
You go give
driving
your
me
Barbies a
insane.
bubble
All right,
bath.
go ahead. Good. Have fun. Oh, thanks for coming.
See you
All
in a
right.
little
See
bit.
ya. So now we have a blended family of 6. Obviously not all the time, but we are a blended family. Which brings us to
Blended family.
A blended family.
family, yes.
So pretty much too, did you go over how we met?
I gave the condensed version. We met.
So we met technically we met at our kids' daycare.
Yes.
When Peter was going and both Nico and Luca were going.
Yes.
Me and Dave, that's how we like saw each other and met. And then out at a bar, we saw each other again.
Mommy, can I be in the next
Yeah, I'll call you when I'm
we'll
ready.
call you for the next one, okay?
So out at a bar, we saw each other and
And we approached me.
it was like love at first sight for Dave. He was like, there's that girl from the daycare that rolls up in her sweats.
Yeah.
She's the one.
She's the one.
And I just walked past him and he was mind blown. And so then fast forward, he just didn't say anything. Fast forward 6 months later, he stalked me and found me on Facebook.
That's true.
Facebook
actually.
or Instagram?
It was Facebook.
Facebook. And slid into my DMs.
Did do that.
And did all the BS and smooth talking. And I was like, listen, buddy, are you going to ask me on a date or not? And he was just like, that's what happened. And he was just like, oh, yeah, I guess. Would you like, and I was like, how about now?
A month of dating.
I was like, how about now? Why don't you come pick me up now?
Oh, yeah, the coffee date.
Yeah. And he was like, okay. So he came to my work, picked me up, and took me
Starbucks.
to Starbucks.
It was a dark and stormy day. We sat at Starbucks and talked for an hour and a half.
And then we were together every single day.
Every single day since.
Since then. So that's like the condensed version of how we met. The
That's
highlight
the Cliff
reel.
Notes.
Yeah. And
Do you think kids today will ever know what Cliff Notes is? Cliff Notes still a thing?
I don't think so. I feel like there's
God, Cliff Notes got me through college.
yeah, but now there's Chat GPT where people could probably just
write my report for me.
yeah, or give me the cliff
Yeah,
note, like give
that's
me
true.
notes. Oh shoot, where's the question? Okay, so then what are some unique dynamics and strengths that you discovered in your blended family?
The bond between the kids,
Yeah.
it's wild. Like, they don't know each other. They're not half brothers. They're not step brothers. They're not step siblings. They're just brothers and sisters. Like, they don't.
Yeah, you will never hear them say like, "Oh, that's my stepbrother." Like,
No.
they don't say that. It's
No,
like,
they just say that's my brother.
yeah, yes, Ava.
And everybody in the area. I mean, and
Yeah, in a minute.
It's gotten to that point where like nobody considers it that. It's just brothers. We're just family, which is, I mean, it's
Yeah. And I feel like we're really lucky to have that. That like a lot of
Yeah.
times it's not like that, and they're close. Like when they,
Very close.
if you didn't know anything else, like you saw them hanging out together, you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, they're just brothers because they fight like brothers. They get along like brothers.
Yeah.
They are very thoughtful of each other, even though they fight.
yeah, no,
They're very thoughtful of each other, like,
Yeah.
and they're very protective of each other.
they are extremely protective of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So I guess that's one of the like unique things about us. And then Ava was like really came together and they all
She was like the glue.
she is very moody.
Moody.
But they all just adore her and it's funny, she like picks and chooses like which one
Who's her favorite?
Yeah. And they all fight for her.
It changes weekly,
Changes daily.
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 Yeah.
What she'll do is she'll be like, Mommy, where's Nico? I want Nico to come over. And then like when he comes home from school, she's just like, he'll be like, hi Ava, can I have a hug? No.
No, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, she's
And then like at
she's
night,
definitely my
I
wife.
want Nico. Ava, do you want me to read you a story? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
It's so funny.
She's such a girl.
How do you navigate co-parenting to make sure all the children feel loved and included? So this one, me and Dave go to therapy, and we just like a big epiphany moment, I feel like, for us that we realized is we put so much pressure on like making sure all the kids feel included and loved, and we were taking out on each other like to make sure, yeah, go get one, to make sure that it was like, you know, his sons don't get the short end of the stick and Peter doesn't get the short end of the stick, and like little things that we were doing when we realized like in their eyes like there was no issues, like us putting so much focus on that to make sure they all felt included and loved, it was almost like the worst. Like
it almost destroyed us.
Yeah, like we took it out on each other when like, and it took going to therapy when she was just like, oh, were the kids fighting? Were they upset? And we were like, no, there was no issue. Like it was
literally us. Yeah.
So kind of going into it like they're okay.
Yeah.
And like we need to focus on us being a unit together.
Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic where you know, you almost overcompensate because from our own experience, we were very defensive of each other. And, you know, we're still trying to break some walls down. We're still, you know, unfortunately, it doesn't, a switch just doesn't flip one day and everything's better. It just takes some time. And the unfortunate part of that is like as the time it takes, the kids are growing older and it's becoming less important to them to have that bond with parents as much as it's like more important for us to have that bond. So
yeah. And keep in mind we've kind of blended this family it's been like 7 years
7
now.
years ago, yeah.
So this, if you talk to us like 4 years ago, our answer would be completely different than like it is now.
Yeah. It's been a long road.
What are some strategies that you found helpful in creating strong relationships within our family?
So I'm a firm believer in this, at least doing one big family vacation a year.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know the pains until you travel with a family. Yeah. And it's like a shared pain, like everybody feels it. But it's also, everybody feels the fun too. Like
it sucks for us as parents.
Yeah.
Like it's not a relaxing vacation, and I feel like you got to get that through your head where we're like, oh, we can't wait to just be on vacation. Then we get there and we're like, no one's listening. But for them, they come home and they're like, can we go back on vacation? Yeah. Like it was the best time ever. And we're like, that was exhausting.
Yeah. So
and it doesn't have to be a vacation. Like it can be anything. Like just doing stuff together as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think
we've gone to Hershey as a family, like which is 3 hours away, which is for a night or so.
Yeah.
The kids love it. They love it's just a matter of like doing something together as a family.
Yeah, and I think it just makes everyone feel like a family.
We're gonna be implementing something new too, where we do like a family dinner every other week or like a.
Where you wake up, Dave. We talked about waking up at 4:30 in the morning every Sunday and cooking dinner.
I did, and
I
would do it. I would do it. You told me I couldn't. I
never said I was all for it.
So okay, don't threaten me with a good time. I love cooking.
Oh, great job.
And I will get up at 4:30 and I will start the sauce before I go into work, and it'll cook all day, and I'll come check on it on my different breaks, and it'll be good to go. But that's like a family dinner with like us, all the kids, my mom, her parents, the kid, Peter's dad and his girlfriend.
You gonna invite them too?
Yeah, 100%. And Nico and Luca's mom and dad.
We're doing everyone?
Everyone.
Everyone on
Sundays?
Sundays?
Everyone.
Jeez.
Yep.
We're gonna need to get a lot of food.
Yeah. So.
Can you share any memorable moments that have brought your blended family closer together?
Memorable moments.
I'm trying to think. I feel like Disney.
Disney was
But seeing the boys together.
Yeah, seeing the boys together.
Like in the hotel room.
Yeah.
They were driving us crazy to the point where Dave locked them out.
Yeah, I did. I locked. So
like
we
5
stayed at the
seconds.
Polynesian, but I locked them out by the door. So,
But I feel like that.
but they were having a blast, so I couldn't. It was just one of those moments where I needed 30 seconds to breathe and think, but it didn't matter because they were having a blast and they were just all getting along. It was great.
And for me, recently when Peter got attacked, he got bitten, like attacked by a dog, and it was really bad, and he had like stitches all over his face. His face was swollen. He didn't even look like himself, and I was so nervous for when his brothers saw him that they were going to be like
Yeah.
scared or freaked out because it was bad, or even Ava. But for me, like, it was so nice because they didn't even react.
No.
They were just so concerned about him. They didn't look at him like he was any different. And even Ava, like, she was like, oh, you have a boo-boo, but she was still like there.
Yeah.
And that was just, to me, like, I feel like he needed that, and they just wanted to know he was okay.
Yeah. He went from being an only child to having 3 siblings. Well, to having 2 siblings, then 3 siblings. And it went, it wasn't like a progressive thing, like where you're the oldest and then you have brothers. It was like he was 5 and then he got a 4-year-old and a 4-year-old and 2-year-old brother.
Yeah.
And it was like, so it was tough for him to adjust in the beginning. It was tough to him, just me, but I think we've come so far. Like, it's wild. Peter acts more like me than anybody. It's so strange.
Yeah, all of
I
a
think
sudden.
it's awesome. But
I always get comments on Instagram that's like, oh my God, like when I tell people that, like, I'm like, oh no, Dave's like his stepdad or something.
Yeah.
It's so funny. They're like, really? Because the things he says and does,
Yeah.
they're like, oh my God, he sounded so much like Dave. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like even with the shopping stuff.
Oh my God, he is.
He literally talks like you.
Yeah. So.
How do you handle, how do you handle conflicts or disagreements with your blended family?
Therapy.
And also, I don't know if they mean conflicts with our family.
Yeah, with our family.
I didn't know if it meant like with.
No. I don't think that's not what that means.
Okay. It's tough.
I mean, look, there's in a blended family, if you're lucky enough, you have 2 parents, and then you have another set of parents, and then another set of parents. And it's tough. It's a lot of communication. Everybody's different. You're not just dealing with one person. You're dealing with like my kid's mother and their new stepfather, who we didn't have a great relationship, but we've come so far that now, like, I'm so happy with the fact that we are literally like on good terms. Like it's so much less stressful, like when everybody gets along. And for all of us, it felt like we were just trying to, put all this energy to not getting along, that it's more exhausting than just allowing things to get along. And, they can attest to it. And we've had a million conversations where it's just like, we're all just very happy how it is. We've really come a long way, and it was tough. So blended families are hard.
They're really hard. I would definitely say, like, too, focusing this, which is hard for me, focusing on yourself, and like you can only what do they always say? Control your controllables. Like you can only control what's going on in your house. Like you can't control other people, and letting a lot go, which is really hard for me because I am a stubborn person. But like just letting things go because it's just not worth it in the long run. And just as long as you're happy in your house and doing the best you can, like you have to let the other people parent the way they want to parent, and realize that like maybe someone's intentions are because they're hurt or something like that. Like you can't take everything personally, which I like have a tendency to take everything personally. So like that kind of stuff, like it's definitely hard, but it takes a while. Like same thing. If you talked to us 4 years ago, our answers would be so different.
So
and like I might be in a spiteful place still where I'm like, ew, like I'm not doing that. Or like, we'll never get along. Where like now it's just like, it's just.
A lot of things have happened over the last, I would say, 1.5, 2 years, like life-changing things within our families where it's like, okay, like maybe we have the wrong approach. Like maybe we need to change things up, because obviously it's not the glitz and glamour that you think it is. Like everyone has like you know, skeletons in their closet, and you kind of just sit having these like delusions of grandeur where like, oh, you know, like you grow up a certain way and you see this stuff and it's like, you know, but then as you get older, you see the reality of it and I'm like, oh shit, it's
But even like after,
it's not that.
yeah, even too after the accident with Peter, like
Oh yeah.
his ex-wife texted me and like she was so concerned about Peter and like sent me a nice message, and that too is one of the things. It's like we all love the kids, and that's like the most important thing.
Yeah.
So like things like that was a big deal to me. And then too, Peter's dad stayed with us for almost 2 weeks after the accident, and Dave accepted that. Like, and it was like because Peter just needed everyone. Like he needed the best support system he could have. And like I think remembering that you're doing it for your kids. Like you're not doing it for anyone else.
Nope.
Like you're literally doing it for the kids is like the biggest thing. And it's also the hardest thing to like get out of your own way.
Yeah, it is. It's tough to exist in a world where you can't have it your way all the time, and it's like, all right, well, is it really worth it? Is it worth expelling that energy?
Yeah.
It's not. Never is.
Have we faced any judgments or like misconceptions about blended families? I think the one thing which I learned when they say like, I don't know if it's like blended family divorce rates
Yeah.
are so high. And I honestly hate when people say that because then I feel like it almost sets you up for failure, because then it thinks like, oh my God, because I'm a blended family and we're married, like, are we more like when people tell you like they're more likely to get divorced? I don't know. Like, I think it's the easy way out.
Yeah. I mean, it's harder to stay in a marriage and work on it. I mean, look, I've been divorced, so it's harder to stay in a marriage and work on it than it is to just kind of, you know, walk away when times are tough.
Yeah. And just because like when you're in a blended, like you don't get rid of that. When you have kids, you don't get rid of, just because you get divorced or leave the person, like
No.
you don't get rid of them. They're still there, and you carry them into your new relationship. So it's kind of like with a blended family, you just have to figure out.
Yeah. Look, the biggest thing, and will always be, is like everyone's got a different personality. Everyone's a different person. Everyone's different. But when you kind of skip through all the bullshit of like of the anger and all the things that you hold on to, and I'm guilty of it, you know, like it's not, you know, you see what really is the goal. Like the most important thing to me, the most important thing to her, the most important thing to my ex and her new husband and Peter's father is like that the kids are happy and that they're safe. And I gotta be honest, like I'm ecstatic with the kids' household over there. Like I couldn't ask for a better one. And the same thing with Pete.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the best scenario. Like if it was a bad situation where like, you know, we had like there was safety issues, it would be awful.
Yeah.
But
no, there's
my
nothing.
kids, all of our kids are so fortunate to have love on all sides of the ball. Like it's awesome. It's wild. It's really, honestly, it was the adults that were fucking complicating things. Mm-hmm. It was all of us. It was stupid, but luckily we've kind of gotten past all of our egos and we've kind of changed and we have the best scenario. I mean, like Pete and I get along like nothing.
Yeah.
You know, Peter's father and I get along like we're friends from 30 years ago.
That's what's nice when you go to like football games and we all like stand together and like I lucked out too with Pete's girlfriend that, I mean, they've been together for so long.
Oh yeah.
It sounds weird calling her girlfriend because they've been together for a while
great.
now. Yeah, like I lucked out, and she really showed me how I needed to be, because she didn't hold, when she met me, she held nothing against me. Like nothing, but then again, I don't know what, because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Like, I don't know, Pete could have said like, Jane's so annoying. Not yet, I'm gonna call you. Yeah. But she was just like, there you go, babe. She was just nice right away and like very, I don't know, like like Mother's Day she texted me like, and she was very loving to Peter. Like, I don't know. It just worked out. So
yeah. And I'm extremely lucky. You know, my boys, and I don't say my ex's name or her new husband because out of respect for them. That's the same reason I don't have the boys in there, because we don't, you know, it's something that she didn't feel comfortable with, and I'm cool with that.
sorry, Pete.
Yeah, sorry, Pete just doesn't care.
He doesn't want you.
Yeah. So, but like I couldn't be any happier. Like we had a rocky start. You know, we were married, we got divorced, but like now we can talk. Now we can, you know, figure problems out. Like, you know, I can get along with the boy's stepdad. Like I gave him clothes when we went to a Jets game. Like it was so. Like,
Give him a jersey.
I gave him a jersey.
Don't make it sound like he's
but
like homeless.
No, but like I, you know, years ago it probably wouldn't have been that way, and I'm happy that I have that now because I know that when I'm not with my boys, the main concern is like if I'm not with my boys, I want them to be in the safest hands, and I trust him with the most, you know, two of the most important things in my life, and to me that speaks volumes. Like I respect him, and he respects me, and you know, at the end of the day, it's like we've come a long way.
Yeah, we have. Can you share any future plans or goals that we have as a blended family? I don't know, maybe adding one more into the mix? That's all great. Let's just keep
We can end this now.
Keep these good times rolling.
Yeah. We can end this video right now.
Keep them going. I don't know if we have any future plans. We're thinking about like vacation in Aruba.
Aruba.
We're planning our next, but like there's honestly right now at the point we're in our life with sports and like work, everything's so, and the kids are so young, they have so much going on that's just the focus. The focus is like getting through the chaos of the schedules.
Yeah. Yep.
On the the holidays are coming up, so like that's what my main focus is on right now.
Yeah.
What message would we like to say to other blended families out there who may be watching this? Buckle up.
No, like
no, be patient.
Yeah, be patient. And don't forget what the most important thing is. It's not your ego. It's not how you feel about another person. It's about the kids. Yeah. And the kids will learn so much from you. They learn everything from you, whether good, bad, or indifferent. So
be patient and don't take anything personally.
No.
Don't take anything like the kids say. Like one time Peter got upset and said he wished he was an only child again. And I even took it personally where I was like, did I make the biggest mistake? Is my kid like now being affected? But he's a child and said it out of anger because he wasn't getting his way. And I feel like you took it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, don't take, like, if there's a like immediate danger concern with your child, by all means. But if it's like something like that, they're kids, like they go through parent, like moments where like, even if me and Dave, if they were all our biological children, like it would be the same thing. Like Peter might one day say like, he hates me or like hates you. Like it's just, I don't know. Like you can't take anything personally. That is like the biggest
Most people
thing.
hate me. I'm okay with it.
No, but like I'm just saying when like a kid gets mad and you say like if I take his phone away, like he did say to me the other day like I can't wait to go to dad's, and it's just like
it hurts.
Yeah, like it
hurts.
stung, but like I was thinking like.
But that's just parenting in general.
And even if me and Pete were still together, he would probably be like I can't wait for dad to come home. Like it wouldn't. Yeah. It's not like it's because he got yelled at.
Yeah.
So it's like just don't take anything personally, and what Dave said, like realize that you need to put your marriage first. Yeah. Because we need to be a unit. Yeah. And that like the kids are resistant. Like they're resilient. They're resilient. They're gonna be okay. Yeah. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be okay.
I never used to be, but I'm a huge firm believer in therapy.
Oh yeah.
Firm believer in therapy. Yeah. And I'll tell you why, because it doesn't matter who you talk to in your family, in your group of friends, or anything like that. There's always going to be someone who has a bias in some way. Yeah. In some way. Careful. You will never find a neutral person within your circle. And you need someone who is a neutral person that can take themselves out of the box that you've now put yourself into and give you rational ways to think about it.
Yes. And also, though, like, finding the right therapist.
Oh, that's hard.
Like, that's a hard one. So, that's like, hard. Even if you've been to therapy before and you're like, it was terrible, it's not worth it, you might have not found the right one. And finding, like, I can have a therapist that I love for me and that it's not the same, a good therapist for the kids. Like Peter had a therapist that I absolutely loved, but would she have been a good therapist for me? Probably not. No. So to like finding the right person for you or your children, but like I'm in it and right now I absolutely adore my therapist. And it is. It like,
my therapist and I act like brother and sister. Like
you and your therapist have a weird...
We have full blown, like she's been my therapist for 9 years.
I'll hear Dave yelling and I'm like, who are you talking?
Yeah, like but we get along, like but she's brought me so far, like I've been in so many bad places that she's taken me out of. Yeah. And
Like little
Yeah, I would-
eyes.
I'm dreading the day she tells me she can't see me as a patient anymore.
Do you think that's coming?
No. No, she knows I need it.
So yeah, so that's really it. If there's any other like questions you have, feel free to
Put them in the comments.
put them in the comments. I have to
gonna
get better at reading the comments. I'm
We're
always
gonna,
afraid.
we're gonna start doing a lot more of these. We're gonna do some more. I'm putting a lot more time into
Dave has like a couple of really good like upcoming sit down video ideas. I feel like you sent me another good one.
this. I did. I sent some good ones. We're gonna do some more sit down videos.
And then we're also going to do a men's and women's holiday gift guide
We
ideas.
are gonna do that.
Mama,
And
look
I've taken more steps towards podcasting.
But I feel like this is podcast style. So in the meantime, like this would have been a great podcast
Yeah.
if we had the podcast
Yeah.
mics. Just imagine you had something right here.
Ava.
I would prefer not to.
Owie.
Thank you.
A podcast. Are you kidding me? Is that
No.
going to be coming soon?
That's not it. I'm not letting you name it. I can't. The Bald and the Beautiful. I don't know.
What a flop.
I'll think of something.
What a flop. Comment below.
Comment
what
below
our
what you
podcast
think.
needs
Yeah,
to
what do you
be.
think it should be?
I think it should be, are you kidding me? Blended family, marriage advice, influencer husband,
No, I don't want
lifestyle,
that at
all combined.
No, not at all. I don't want that. It sounds terrible.
Okay, we can make it Dave is the new Karen.
I saw that somewhere.
I shared it.
So yeah,
Where it said Dave is the version of a guy version of a Karen.
Version of a Karen. Is it Dave? It's Dave. It's not Dave.
Oh, my little itty bite.
All right. That's all I got.
Goodbye.